There were two pivotal moments for me. And one pivotal moment was actually when we were selling some drugs, and I was with a friend of mine, and we were at this house, and we were selling some drugs to this individual that I had met. And my friend said, "That guy's a cop. I was just at the police station. I saw him there."
Oh, wow.
And so the guy basically says, "Hey, we got to get out of here." And it was like, holy shit, this is becoming like really, really, really real. And I knew that, I could go to jail or go to the morgue. One of my friends had died. One of my friends actually went to jail. And so this became real, part one. Part two, my brother knew that I was selling drugs. My brother knew I was getting in trouble. And he had asked me, my brother was a tennis pro and he used to play the pro circuit in tennis in Europe. And when he came back, he moved to Toronto, Canada. I was living in Montreal. When he came back, he was teaching this entrepreneur. His name was Alan Brown, tennis. And he was telling this guy, my brother's getting in trouble. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help him. And this man said, "Well, why don't you have your brother come, to Toronto and let me talk to him and see if I could help the situation." So my brother invited me. I took the train from Montreal to Toronto, which is about a 6-hour train ride.
Wow.
My brother picked me up at the train station. I was going to stay with him for the weekend. And I met this man at lunch. His name was Alan Brown. Nice man in real estate. Developer, had real estate offices, I think about 700-800 agents, in the Toronto area. Very, very successful from what my brother had told me. And so at lunch, this guy asked me, like, "What are some of your goals?" And I said to him, "I'd like to buy a car. I'd like to move out of my parents' house. And I'd like to get a job where I make more than $1.65 an hour." He said, "That's all wonderful." He said, "What are some of your bigger goals and dreams?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, what else would you like to achieve, in your life?" And I said, "I have no idea." So he said something to me. You'll love this, Steve, because you do this. He said, "Well, will you do me a favor? I have this document with some questions on it. Would you mind answering these questions and then just give them back to me?" So I said, "Sure." So he gave me this document, and just to put it into perspective, it was the 1980 goal setting guide.
Oh, wow.
So I get this document, I open up the first page, and the first question, Steve, says, "At what age do you want to retire?" And I'm 19 at the time, and I'm like, "Retire? I want a good job."
Right.
Like, I said to Mr. Brown, I said, "What am I supposed to put here?" And he said, "Just pick a number." And so I said, "Okay, 45." 26 years later. The next question said, "Upon retirement, how much net worth do you want to have?" And I looked at Mr. Brown and said, "Excuse me, sir, what does net worth mean?" Right? And he explained it to me. I said, "Okay, $3 million. Where would you like to travel? What kind of car would you like to have? What kind of home would you like to have? What kind of clothes would you like to have? Who would you like to help? What kind of experiences would you want to have?" And it asked all these questions that I never even thought of. So I wrote out, "Travel the world first class. Retire my parents, Italian wardrobe, 4-bedroom house, Mercedes-Benz convertible." I wrote all this stuff out, and I gave him back the document, and he looked at it, and he said, "This looks like a great life." He said, "I'm going to ask you one question, and the answer to this one question will determine whether you achieve every one of these things." And so I'm sitting there a little cocky, thinking in my own mind, Steve, "Yeah, sure. One question." And he leaned in and he said, "Are you interested in achieving these things, or are you committed to achieving them?"
Great question.
And I
Great
said,
question.
I was thinking in my own head, interested, committed, interested. I'm like scratching my head. And so I asked him, I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Brown, what's the difference?" And he leaned in again. And he says, "If you're interested, you'll do what's easy and convenient. If you're interested, you'll allow your present circumstances and your old results control your thinking. You'll allow yourself to be hindered what you currently believe. You'll allow yourself to accept what is, but if you're committed, you'll upgrade your identity to match this new destiny. You'll upgrade your knowledge, you'll upgrade your skills, you'll get the new beliefs required to achieve these goals, and you will develop the habits that are consistent with the achievement of these goals. So, son," he says, "which are you, interested or committed?" Steve, I don't know why, but I just said, "Well, in that case, sir, I'm committed. He reached out his hand and he says, in that case, I will be your mentor.
Oh,
I said,
wow.
I said, thank you. What's a mentor?
Hi, I'm Steve Rodgers. I hope you're enjoying the show. If you'd like to hear more from thought leaders, executives, CEOs, entrepreneurs, click on the link below and subscribe. We'd love to have you join us.